Hey guys, and welcome to Mintac. This is Chris. Today's episode I have for you, I'll be taking apart the Taurus PT 1911 Commander chambered in 45 ACP. My intent on this video is to show you how to take the slide off, strip the slide, and then show you how to clean this. So pretty simple, pretty easy video. But for those who have never taken a 45 apart and cleaned after a range date, this is for you guys. So you might learn a little something like I have in the past. By the way, this is like video number 3 of the week, so hopefully you guys are enjoying. And if you guys have any comments, any questions, leave them downstairs in the comments section. If you're on Rumble, give me a plus Rumble for this video as well. Make sure you subscribe both on YouTube and on Rumble so that I can continue to grow this channel. I do it for you guys, even though I have a little fun doing it. I do it for you, the audience. So thank you for those that have subscribed so far. Let's get down to the work. All right, guys, let's get to it. So the first thing you need to do is grab your barrel lug wrench. I'm not sure if that's the technical name or not, but what we're going to be doing is releasing the guide rod spring housing, which is right here. And to do that, you need to basically press in with your wrench. I'm doing this upside down, so you want to press in with your wrench and turn clockwise. Now, you want to make sure, hopefully you guys can see this, you want to make sure that you have your finger over that spring, because when you fully release it, that spring is going to come out along with the housing. Okay, so all right, next thing you're going to do, take it off safe. Obviously you're going to make sure that your firearm is free and clear from any ammunition. So the next thing that we're going to do is actually slide the barrel backwards, and we want to get to the point where, see if I can get it right there. We want to get to the point, I'm going to give you a close-up of this, that your slide release is in line with that little hole right there. And if you push on the other side, the opposite side, which you can see that right there, if you push on the opposite side, you should be able to pull that right out. Okay, so set your slide release off to the side, and now you should be able to pull. Make sure your spring is, I'm going to work this way. Yeah, there we go. I had to release the lug that was inside. The barrel lug was caught up in there. So you should be able to completely pull your slide off. This is your lower half and your upper half. Now, this should allow you to take out your spring and guide rod. I take them out from the back side. You can see that there's a little notch right there, which resides and rides on the tip or the top of your barrel. Actually bottom if you flip it over, but it rides right here. Okay, and all you gotta do is take that apart and set it off to the side. Next thing, to release the barrel, you actually have to turn your barrel locking mechanism the opposite way, and you should be able to pull that right out, just like that. So that's what it looks like, and this actually locks your barrel into your slide. Okay, I'm going to give you a close-up shot of that, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. You have some tabbed ears that are right here, and it's just that one side, and that locks right into the barrel. Now this should allow you, set that off to the side, this should allow you to pull your barrel completely out. All right, there's the little ear I was talking about that needed to be flipped in order to fully disengage your slide. You can see how dirty that is. This is taking this to the range twice, and it really needs a cleaning, so you can kind of see that there. All right, now we'll look at the inside of the slide. Slide is looking pretty dirty as well. front to back. Yeah, it's pretty grody. All right. And then if you look inside of the slide, you should be able to see the locking mechanism for the barrel lock, which is right there. All right, guys, so the product I like to use, I like to use REM oil as my first step, and I'll spray all these things down, including the inside of the barrel and the inside of the slide, to get it coated and well, get it soaking quite well. So you can use this as a lubricant and as well as a cleaner. That's what I use it for. Make sure you get it down the barrel. I'll hit everything up, including that lug. And then get the inside of the lower receiver. I'm just going to call it a lower receiver because I'm so used to building ARs. And so then you can take your brush just like this, and if you want, you can just give it some scrubbing in there, outside. Definitely want to get the inside. You can use some, yeah, it's pretty gross, but it cleans up pretty well. You can see all the stuff starting to come out of there. Clean your feed ramps up. Let me get here. I'll scrub my feed ramps as well. Get the little ear in there. Actually, might put a little bit more down there just to get it really nice and pretty. And then if you've got a rod with cleaning patches, you can certainly go that route as well. Now, I have actually a microfiber right here, and I'm going to microfiber clean the outside of the barrel. Let me just get proper hold of that microfiber of the barrel, and I'll show you how well this cleans up, as well as the feed ramp will come out really nice. So, yeah, and then I'll take actually, I don't have a rod for this one. Actually, I could probably grab my 9mm rod, but this is the brush that I'm using. And you can see how well the feed ramps clean up on that. Okay, go back and forth. We'll go from the opposite direction, see if you guys can see that. And I'll swab the inside of this barrel as well. All right, again, this is the slide. It's looking pretty dank in there. So I'm going to give that a spray again. And then I'm going to take my microfiber, and let me just set this off to the side here. I'm going to grab my microfiber, give a little hug with it, and then I'm going to clean the outside, and I'm going to clean the inside. The outside's looking really good. And this microfiber works really well just because it grabs onto everything inside that slide and inside the barrel. And it's thin enough that I can actually pass one end through it and pull it through for the majority of the way. So I might even take my guide rod and just kind of scrub it back and forth. Hopefully you can see that. I got to get this down at the table level so you guys can see. Again, I'll take my guide rod and I'll push it through. And I'll pull it through as much as I can. And then I'll pay attention to the side walls of my slide. I'll make sure that the guide rails in the inside. Like I said, I use a lot of pressure. Just push it down inside of the rails right in here that run the length of the slide. And then I'll do the same thing. Just trying to get as much crap out of there as possible. All right, so that's looking really good. You can kind of see that. It'd be nice to be able to get inside right back here. So I'll take an opposite end and I'll stick the tip of this microfiber right inside there. And I'm going to cram it down there. Use my fingernail. You might be able to get a brush down there. Oh yeah, that's looking much better. All right, so that's looking clean. Give you a perspective of that. It's looking good. All right, so I'm going to set that off to the side. I'll set it on a nice, clean surface, so I know that those two items are complete. So I've got the slide and I've got the barrel done, and the rest of it is pretty simple. I'm going to make sure that my spring gets clean. You know, if you just twist that out and around, that should get pretty well taken care of. Guide rods, same story. These things clean up really well because of the solid surface. There's no grooves and crannies that you have to get in. That's right, I said it, crannies. All right, now I'm going to grab my slide release, and that gets pretty dirty also. I'm going to give it a little extra spray, and that's looking good. I'll grab my barrel lug lock, whatever you want to call it. It's a lock. It's a barrel lock. I mean, it's locking your barrel into place into your upper receiver. So I'm going to clean that out really nice. And so that's good to go. Okay, where your barrel passes through the lock. Take your microfiber. Microfibers rock, man, just because they're like a porcupine on a bear butt or something, you know, cleaning a bear butt up. And then you've got your, it's crazy, you've got a, this is your spring housing, guide rod spring housing. And it, you know, at first I thought it was a solid piece all the way through, and it's not. It's got a little bit of a opening there. I'm not sure if that's a good design or not, but, you know, it might allow some dirt into your receiver. You can use your brush, get your brush in there, really clean that up. Oh, my tip of my brush fell off. That's taken care of. That's good to go. That's set aside. We are clean there. You know, this whole process does not take very long at all. Let's take the lower receiver and lower assembly. And again, I'm going to hit that again. This is where a majority of your gunk buildup is going to be as well, just because there's so many different surfaces there. You might want to even take your brush and brush your, there's a little bit of a feed ramp there, as well as your mag well, and trust me, stuff gets down there. So scrub it up good. Might want to even scrub the inside of your lower receiver right there. Scrub your rails up. This brush is really good for all this stuff. And then you grab your microfiber. Just grab your microfiber and just start to cleaning the heck out of it there. And it's going to be beautiful by the time it's done there, Stanley. And what I like to do is grab another piece like this, and I just might pass this microfiber just down like this, you know, and I can grab my little tool and I can shove. And I might even want to take my brush and pass that down there. That way I can get my feed ramps. And it's good to go. And I might even take it from the opposite side there too there, Stanley. And I'm going to shove that in there as far as possible. I might even try to get it out the top, but sometimes you're just not successful, you know. So you just got to take what you're given. All right, so that's what it's looking like. It is, feed ramps are looking really, really nice and functioning. Looks like they'll function like they should. And I can see that I missed the spot on top here. And it is looking really, really shiny up there. I think I might hit this again because that's still looking like it got some garbage on there. A little bit of garbage. All right. So that's the cleaning process. Now let's go through the oiling process. I'll show you exactly where I oil my guns up. All right there, fellers and fellerettes. This is what I like to use. A little Lucas Extreme Duty gun oil. This stuff is rocking. It smells sort of like grapes. You got a little bit of flavor in there, but this is what I like to do. Certainly you want to hit your rails really well, so I'm going to put a little bit of a little bit goes a long way. Come on. Oh, these boys, I better open that sucker up. A little bit goes a long way. And I'm going to use my finger, and I'm just going to rub it a little bit in there. And I'll put right there, just a little bit. And you should be good to go right there. You shouldn't need anything else because we're going to hit the slide also. So we're going to set that aside. All right, so I'm going to go through assembly. Now this can be kind of difficult just because the way that the slide fits onto the lower receiver is just a pain in the butt sometimes. And so what we're going to do first is, obviously, we're going to do the reverse steps of what we did. So we're going to slide our barrel in. Your locking lug needs to be straight from front to back. Otherwise, it's difficult to put it on the lower receiver. Next, what I want to do is I want to take the barrel lock and you're going to wiggle it on there and you're going to go the opposite way. Just like that. So that's locked in there. And then you want to put your guide rod in. You might want to turn your barrel locking mechanism forward there. Drop that in. So it should look like this. Okay. And then next, I'm going to put my spring in. Okay. And then this is the tricky part because this can be a pain in the butt. If it's not lined up correctly, it makes it very difficult to get the slide engaged backwards. All right. So what I do is I hold the spring and I hold the guide rod and I'm going to slide it on just like this. Okay. Now it's going to have a tendency to drop, and you actually might have to turn your barrel a little bit. And you'll know when you get it because it'll feed right in there, just like that. All right, see how that slid back there? Sometimes you have to twist the barrel to get it engaged into the back, just like that. All right, so next thing we want to do is we want to put in our slide release. And let me see if I can get that up there. I'm looking for the little tab there. There it is. Boom. So that's the opposite side. It's engaged with the barrel ear down here. Okay. And what I want to do is snap this end of it into right there. I'm going to have to pull this back a little bit. You're going to want to line up your hole. Hopefully you guys can see that. And snap it in. So it's going to ride right in this little hole. Now I can do and manipulate this how I want to. And you got to make sure that the little rounded end is fully seated. All right, so this is where probably the easiest part of the whole operation comes, is you put your spring cap on there. One thing I did want to note is this spring has two ends. One is a fully enclosed end and the other is not. Okay, you want to put this down on that end and then put your spring cap on there. All right, now we're going to get out our handy dandy little tool, and what I like to do is I like to press it down as far as I can. Let me engage the front, get it down as far as I can, and then I'm going to turn it. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let me get my fingers out of the way. I'm going to turn it so the ear is just depressing the that spring housing, and then I can take my tool and then I can fully press it down further, and then I can turn it and lock it into place, and that's what it should look like. Now, if it's functioning correctly, which it is, there we go. Okay, you can actually oil if you need to. If you lost a little bit of oil in the process, you can essentially put some more oil, a little bit of lubrication on your barrel. You can also put a little bit on your guide rod, which I did not do. And the action of that spring going back and forth should help with that. All right, and I'm going to wipe down the outside of the weapon just to make sure that everything is good to go. Yeah, it's sounding good and it's nice and clean. So you should be able to see that. All right, there it is. Put it on safety, set it off to the side, and we are good to go. So any questions. If you guys have any questions, let me know. It is easiest, like I have found, to when putting that slide on, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to grab that spring, I'm going to grab the guide rod, and I'm going to grab the barrel and push it up, and then guide it in, the slide and everything, guide it into the rails itself. And I'm going to pull that barrel out just a little bit and twist it, and you'll feel it. Let me just take it off safe. You'll feel it seat into the breech there. And it should be nice and lined up. Your feed lips should be lined up with your feed ramp where the magazine slides up there. And so that's what I found the easiest. You might get frustrated with getting that thing in for the first time, but like I said, if you can just twist that barrel a little bit and feel it seat, then you can slide the rest of the slide on. So that works well. All right, guys, if you like this video, if you found it helpful, give me a plus sign for Rumble and a thumbs up for YouTube, and then also make sure that you subscribe if you are not subscribed yet. Please follow stuff on Rumble, because I plan on doing videos that are strictly Rumble related, because I can't do them on YouTube. Like anything that I want to do with a how-to for an AR, how to put something together, it's going on Rumble exclusively. So check my channel out. Make sure that you subscribe, and you guys have a fantastic weekend. Maybe I'll get out to the range this weekend and get some shooting in. All right, guys, God bless. Enjoy it. Enjoy some sunshine.